Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mom Encouragement Monday. I'm a little bit sick. I have this head cold thing going on. But I wanted to come on today and let you know what I've kind of been pondering and thinking about over the last week, what I wanted to say to encourage you. And I wanted to encourage you by saying, you're never going to get it all done. You physically cannot do it all. Is that encouragement for you? It wasn't for me either. I want to be able to get it all done. I want to be able to do it all. But after I started to think about it, it actually is encouraging to know that no matter what, there is still going to be stuff to do tomorrow. And so I don't need to stress about what doesn't get done today. Make your list either on paper or in your head, in your phone. Know what you need to get done that day. But don't stress if you don't get it all done, because the list is ever growing. And the biggest thing that I have found to be the most helpful is to know what my stressor is. What is your one thing when you look around your house that isn't done that makes you feel overwhelmed? Is it a pile of laundry? Is it dirty dishes in the sink? Is it stacks of paper everywhere? Is it shoes all over the place? What's your one thing that when you look, you're like, it makes you feel completely overwhelmed? And do that first. Get that thing done. For me personally, my thing that overwhelms me more than anything else is dirty floors. So if I can get my floors swept up, and I don't even have to wash them. Sometimes if they're not even washed, just sweeping the floors helps me to feel so much more in control and less overwhelmed. So I will sweep several times a day. If I start to feel out of control, feel overwhelmed with all the things that I have to get done, I start with sweeping, and I just sweep up those floors, kind of get my emotions back in check, and then I can move on to the next thing. It's also helpful if you're a busy mama and you don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time in your day to buckle down and do a big deep clean, declutter, put my house back in order thing. Do your one or two things that stress you out the most, and then move on. Make sure those are done. The other trick that I have found to be really helpful is I make sure my floors are swept before I leave the house. If we're going to go on an errand, say we're going grocery shopping, I make sure the floors are swept and maybe my kitchen is clean before we go to the grocery store. That way when I come in, I can focus on just putting the groceries away. I don't have to be overwhelmed by the sight of the dirty floors, and I don't have to clean out my kitchen and then unload all the groceries. So by making sure that my one or two stressors are taken care of before going somewhere, helps relieve the stress by coming in. Because when you have littles, you never know how your trip is going to go. It could go really smoothly, or you could have a total temper tantrum in aisle 3, right? It could not go well. And so if you have a bad trip out, a bad errand, a stressful errand, you don't want to come home to a lot more stress. So that's just my little tips that I have found I have been doing over the years, and they've worked really well. Figure out what your stressor is to help you feel less overwhelmed. Do that first, and then make sure it's done before you leave the house so that you can come in and not be immediately blown away by a stressful situation in your home. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. If you think about it, I would love your prayers. I have a speaking engagement on Friday. Today's Monday, so at the end of the week, I'm going to go speak to a moms group, and I would just love for you to be thinking of me and praying for me, that I just am a blessing to them. I want to encourage them and be a blessing to them, and I'm getting nervous, but I'm excited too. So I hope you're doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye!